Thank you for taking the time to review the Paganel Permit Holder Renewal video. In this video, we will review all of the steps to renewing your permit, including confirming permit disciplines and members in responsible charge, fee payment, and updating contact information. Begin by accessing the member portal site at the address you see on your screen. You can also find a link to the site in the renewal email that you were sent. There, you will first see a screen which outlines the tasks you can perform and the information you can find on the member portal site. After reviewing this information, click Sign In on the bottom of the screen. From there, you will be taken to the member login screen. On the left-hand side, you will see the username and password fields to sign in. As you may already be aware, Paganel has recently made changes to the way to access permit accounts. Those looking to access a Paganel permit must use the permit number as the username field. You can no longer access a Paganel permit using an email address or an individual license number. If you have forgotten your password, or if this is the first time you are signing in using your Paganel permit number in order to access your permit account, you will need to reset your password. Simply click Forgot Password under the Sign In button and follow the prompts in order to receive a password reset email. You will now be brought to the welcome screen for the Paganel Permit portal. From here you have two options. If you would like to proceed to your renewal, simply click Proceed to Permit Portal. On this page, you also have the option to start the resignation of a Paganel permit. Moving on from the welcome screen, you can now see your Permit to Practice profile. Here you can review the information on file for your permit, including your mailing address, email address, disciplines on offer, members in responsible charge, and more applicable information. To start the renewal process, click the Start Permit Renewal button on the left-hand side of the page. The first step of the renewal is reviewing your corporate information and updating where necessary. Any of the fillable fields denoted by a red asterisk are required information. Please take the time to ensure that we have the correct information on file, and once completed, click Save and Continue to move to the next step. You will now see a review of the disciplines of practice and members in responsible charge for the permit or permits that your organization has. If you do not need to change any of the information pertaining to your permit to practice, you can certify that the information is correct and then click the button marked Proceed to Payment directly underneath option 1. If, however, you need to make updates to your permit to practice, whether you need to add or delete a member in responsible charge, or add or remove a discipline, you can click Report Practice Changes under option 2. Please note that if your changes involve adding a new member in responsible charge, you will be asked to upload supplementary information, which includes a job history. If you do not have this information at this time, please continue with the permit renewal process and make your changes directly with Paganel by contacting main@paganel.ca. We will review how to pay your permit fee later in the video. However, now we will focus on how to make changes to your permit to practice. On the Permit Renewal Change screen, you will see an overview of the permits you currently have, including the discipline and the member in responsible charge for each permit. Below that information is where you can make changes to the member in responsible charge or the disciplines of your permit. To illustrate, we have included two pending changes in advance, including the addition of a discipline and the removal of a discipline. These changes will not be finalized until Paganel approves them. Now we will cover how to add a discipline to a permit. Underneath the option to edit existing disciplines, you will see the words New Request. After clicking New Request, you will see a pop-up window with some drop-down boxes and some text boxes. At the drop-down box marked Change Type, there are 4 options. You can either add or delete a member in responsible charge, or add or delete a discipline. In this case, we are going to choose Add a Discipline. In the drop-down menu marked Discipline, we will select the applicable discipline of the permit. We will then list the name of the member in responsible charge, and we will also include their Peg&L ID. Please note that a member in responsible charge has to be a practicing member with Peg&L in order to be added to a permit. If you do not know the Peg&L ID of the member in responsible charge you wish to add, you can go to www.pegandl.ca and search for the member on our register. After clicking Save, you will notice that the member in responsible charge has been changed. Please note that although the member in responsible charge has updated on this screen, you still need to provide supporting documentation to Peg&L for your updated member in responsible charge. To do this, upload the documentation here on this screen. You will notice below the supporting documentation section that there are two buttons in the middle of the screen called Choose File and Upload. By clicking the Choose File button, you can upload the supporting documentation for your new member in responsible charge. Once satisfied with your documents, select Upload to send to Peg&L. No changes are considered final until Peg&L has reviewed all necessary information. You will notice a text box under the section Additional Information where you can include anything else that you feel Peg&L should know about the adding or removing of disciplines or members in responsible charge. Repeat these steps for all additional requests to add or remove a member in responsible charge or add or remove a discipline. If you have requested a change in discipline or member in responsible charge that you have made an error on or no longer wish to request, you can do so on this screen. Selecting Update next to an entry will give you access to the same pop-up window from earlier. Here you can make the modifications as required. To remove a requested change, simply click Delete. The request will no longer be made to Peg&L. Once you are satisfied with any of the changes you requested, you will need to certify that the information is correct and complete underneath the section marked Confirmation Statement. Once complete, you can click Submit Permit Changes to move on to the next screen. Before we move on to payment, we will note that if you have requested to add or delete a discipline from your permit, we suggest that you defer your payment until after your proposed scope of practice has been confirmed by Peg&L. This will help avoid any unnecessary payment adjustments. Next, we will move on to payment. The first payment screen outlines the total amount that you will have to pay to renew your permit. This screen also notes how many disciplines the invoice is based on. Please ensure that this information is correct before moving on to the payment screen. You also see an option to print your invoice. If you are not paying in person or online, please ensure that you include a copy of the invoice with your payment. After reviewing your invoice, please move on to the final payment screen. To complete your payment, supply your credit card information, including card number, name on the card, and expiration date under the Payment Details section. Once complete, click Submit Order to finalize the payment. After submitting, you will see the confirmation screen, which informs you that a copy of the receipt is being sent to the email address we have on file. If you'd like to send the receipt to another individual, you have the option of doing so near the bottom right-hand corner of the screen by entering the recipient's email address and pressing Send. That finalizes the steps to the Peg&L renewal process. Should you have any issues or questions, please email main@pegandl.ca. Thank you.